morning, everyone. It's Catherine from my hillside garden. Today we're going to make some ham stock and some boiled dinner soup. This was the ham that we had last night for dinner, and we always save the bones. And there's a nice amount of meat on there. My husband did that on purpose because I was going to use it to make soup. But I have a problem. I was hoping to make it in my Instapot, which I just love. It's a fabulous appliance to have. I'm not affiliated with them at all, so please don't think I'm trying to sell you one. But if you've never used one, or if a friend has one and loves it, try out theirs and see if it might fit into your home as well. However, since my son and his wife were over last night, I didn't think to tell my husband that really could have been cut in half. And I know there's no way I can safely cut it in half. So I'm going to have to get out the stock pot, and we're going to be doing this on the stove. I'll be back. I may need to get a little creative with this now. This is my largest stock pot, and as you can see, I'm not getting a lid on this. So let me try something else. After doing a bit of research, I found you can do stock or bone broth in the oven. I've never done it that way, but at this point, I think it's my only option. I have 2 roasting pans. Actually, I have a third one, but that one's really small. So I think I'm going to use the larger one so that way I can get more water in there. Now, most of the recipes I've looked at say that you put your bones into a roasting pan or a Dutch oven and put the bones in the oven at 400 for approximately an hour. Then they have you add any kind of aromatics such as peppercorns, onion, garlic. You could put celery, whatever you have cut off from your vegetables. But generally, that's what I use to feed the worms. And really, this ham is already cooked, so I think I'm going to put it in the oven at 400 for a half an hour. And then I'm going to add the water to it and put it back in the oven. At that time, it says you reduce the heat to 200 and let it cook for 5 to 6 hours. Now, I don't mind doing that today. I am home today, and it is only 6 o'clock in the morning right now, and it's 10 degrees outside. So that will add some warmth to the house till the sun comes out and warms it up as well. So I'll bring you back once I've roasted this and added the water to it. There we go. I turned the ham over a couple times. It did get a little bit browner probably than I would have liked it to, but that's okay. There's pan juices. I hope you could see them a little bit in there. And now I'm going to add the water. I'm going to try to do 10 cups of water in there to get a nice amount of broth. And as I said, I did this first at 400, and now we're going to put it down to 200 and do it probably for about 5 hours. I'll bring you back when I'm done. I let this run until 1 o'clock, so I guess that was about 5 hours. It's done a pretty good job making everything melt apart, and so far the broth looks pretty good. We're going to take that and strain it now. The bones, basically everything fell apart when I pulled it out of the pan, so I'm letting it drip into just a shallow pie dish. I've put cheesecloth over my strainer, and now I'm going to take the soup, the broth, out of the roasting pan and clarify it by doing that so that any little bits or chunks will come out in the cloth. Just give you 1 or 2 scoops so you could get the idea. And this way it filters out the little bits that might be left. It makes a very nice, clear broth. You can hardly see it. There you go. In the bottom of the Pyrex bowl. So I'll finish doing that and bring you back for the next step. The broth looks nice and rich. It smells wonderful. So the next step I'm going to do, it's pretty warm, but I want to get it, it's not hot, but it's pretty warm. I want to get it partially covered, and then probably in about 20 minutes after it's cooled down, just a bit more, I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. This way we're going to let the fat congeal towards the top. Here's what's left of the pile of bones. These bones will still work for another batch of stock. One thing that you learn when you start to do this, if you don't cook it for about 12 hours, you could even go 24 hours if you wanted to. There's still a lot of goodness left in the bones and the skin and the knuckles, I guess you would call it, the cartilage. So you want to be sure to use those bones again to make more stock. This is the container of meat I pulled off that, yes, you could see it, but I didn't realize there was that much meat left on those bones. So that'll go into the boiled dinner soup that I'll make after I get some of that fat off of the broth. I just wanted you to see, now I'll be able to use the Instapot to do the next batch of broth. But these bones will probably go into the freezer until the next time I need to make some broth. You can use just one type of bones, which is the case that happened this time with the ham, but they always recommend that you use more than one type of bone, mixing in chicken, beef, lamb, veal, pork. So this way it gives the broth a much different or much better flavor to it. So I'm going to end this video now, and I will post one when I make the soup tomorrow. And then I'll get that one posted up. So today was just all about how to make ham broth and the adventures that I had in finding a pot to get it to work. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you learned something new. Bone broth or stock really isn't that hard to make, and it's so good for you. You can use it in so many things besides just soup. You can use it in your rice. You could use it when you cook pasta. It's just a wonder, or you could drink it. You know, if you're not feeling good, or if you are feeling good, the collagen in the bone broth is very good. So give me a thumbs up if you like today's video. Share it with your friends if you think it's worthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.